مرة ثانية دخلونا، مرة ثانية لا، منظمة دزتها العلاج فكانت شوية أسهل، علاجهم يعني الحمد لله زين، معاملتهم إلها الحين بالمستشفى.
Many of the women we spoke to in Fallujah say they won't risk having more children, so great is their fear of giving birth to a deformed child.
Now, how sad is that? The women don't even want to have children because they think that the babies are going to come out with deformity. Okay? So it's a form of genocide. Okay?
And even since we started investigating last year, things seem to have got worse. Case after case of differing deformities without any real explanation, except their parents' suspicions that the deformities were caused by chemicals such as white phosphorus used by the Americans during the war.
And that chemical white phosphorus eats the flesh. Okay.
This little girl has an abnormal abdomen. Her baby brother has the same condition. And this is just a snapshot of children with problems, all born within the last 8 months. Look at the hand of this child with its misshapen limb and too many fingers. Some of the other pictures we've obtained are far too shocking to show.
بالحقيقة احنا ما عندنا فرد شيء مثبت، يعني ما عندنا فرد مركز متخصص لتسجيل هذه التشوهات، لكن احنا كأطباء أطفال كممارسة يومية الحالات اللي تجينا حاليا في ازدياد تختلف عن السنين السابقة.
In this baby unit, we found Safan Naji celebrating the birth of a healthy little boy. He's waited 8 years for a child. Doctors told him problems conceiving may also be the result of weapons used during the war. But you don't have to go far in the corridors of the hospital to find families filled with sorrow instead of joy. Just like Fatima Ahmed, here's another little girl with an enlarged head and a short life expectancy. Another child of Fallujah born with a blighted future. Lisa Holland, Sky News.
So look how terrible these people are. Okay? These, they're affecting the lives of millions of people. Okay? But they talk about some of the worst deformities that they see that they didn't want to show. But I want you to see this piece right here.
Iraqis, and then by 2005,
I just want to say, as we show, Dar, as you speak, I just want to say we're going to be showing images, and I want to warn our TV audience, for our radio listeners, if you want to go to the website, you'll be able to see the kind of images that you captured, Dar, when you were in Iraq. Go ahead, keep saying what you were saying.
The most recent statistic I'll end with before I get into Fallujah and what these images are showing is that in 2005 we saw 1,600 Iraqis with cancer out of 100,000, so a massive escalation that continues. And going on to Fallujah, because I wrote about this a year ago and then I returned to the city again this trip, we are seeing an absolute crisis of congenital malformations of newborn. There is one doctor, a pediatrician named Dr.
But these people have a lot to answer for, okay? Yes. They have a lot to answer for. But I want you to hear one more thing. I have one more piece on here that I want you to see. And I want you to hear a U.S. vet that was over there and tell you a little bit about his experience while he was there.
My name is Daryl Anderson. I served in Baghdad, Iraq from January 04 to July 04. But I'll start it off with my progression in Iraq. It started with 9/11 because that's what led to the war. Like Dennis was saying, that's what fueled the fire. That's the big part of the lie that led to the lies I witnessed in Iraq. So I didn't join because of 9/11, because to me, growing up as a kid in Kentucky, I was working 50 hours a week. I was selling drugs to to pay my child support. I was broke, I was a hood rat, and I was growing up like you probably see a bunch of kids running around the ghettos around here. And 9/11 happened, it didn't affect me. I didn't think about it because I didn't have health care. I was working a job that paid me $5 something an hour. What do I care about these 3,000 people that died when my friends are dying every day in the street? I didn't know it would come to affect me one day. But I also knew about the Desert Storm guys who became terrorists. But all of a sudden in Kentucky, because there was some brown people in Kentucky were looking at me like I was a terrorist. Because I'm dark, I can grow a beard, you know, and I'm not as white as many as you people in the room. I'm white, but I'm not that light. So I started to feel a lot of that, like, man, people are, you know, they're worried about, they're gonna hit Fort Knox in Kentucky. And I'm thinking, this is racism. This is what feeds the fuel that Iraqis are beneath us and we can go kill them. Because look it, they killed 3,000 innocent people. They don't care about innocent lives. In Desert Storm, we couldn't get into Baghdad because the people heard about the innocent people we killed in the bombings. Now, 3,000 Americans are dead. We don't care how many Iraqis you gotta kill. Killing the civilians is part of war. And that's what they sent us into Baghdad with. I joined in 2003 because I was broke, I needed money, but I was a young American kid, I wanted to fight in the war. I joined up, month out of training, I arrived in Baghdad, Iraq, January 2004. Saddam's been captured. And I get there, and the guys that I'm serving with have been there for 6 months already. They were there in 2003. And I go, well, you know, I think it's come out that, you know, these people had nothing to do with 9/11. There was no Iraqi on those planes. We can see around here, there's no Al-Qaeda, there's no terrorist syndicates in Baghdad or Iraq. Saddam had stamped them out. And I asked my buddies, well, you know, we're here to find weapons of mass destruction. And they laughed at me. And I said, well, you know, we're here to help the people. And they laughed at me. And I said, well, what's our mission? What's our goal? I thought we were going to find the people that did 9/11. I thought we were going to get these weapons of mass destruction. I got to help people. And they're like, all we're trying to do is make it home alive. And then I'm going to lead you in now to the other lies, because you guys know the lies, but I bled for these lies. I watched my brothers die for these lies. People lost people in 9/11. 1, 2, family. I lost many of my friends and brothers. And I lost part of me for the stuff I did in Iraq. And then we go to January, February, March. You know, nothing's happening. And then Bush gives his speech about bring it on. And in April of 2004, we lost 135 soldiers for this lie, for his lies, for his swaggers being from Texas or whatever. And the more soldiers we lost, the more our procedures changed. Which leads into escalation. 9/11, we can go kill people now. We lost 135 guys. We can kill people now. We were ordered and fired upon, you know, hunker down, radio, wait for orders to return fire. In April, they told us in a crowded area, if one person shoots at you, kill everybody. Because they're letting them attack you. They are no longer innocent if they're there at the time of the crime. Sounds like American rules. If your buddy commits a crime, you're there, you can get caught up on charges on it. But these aren't charges, these are death. We're killing people because they're there when someone else attacked us, because we believe that if we kill enough innocent people, they'll stop the people from attacking us. But what they don't realize is the innocent people we killed, it was their brother, it was their uncle that was trying to kill us, because we already killed his 3 children. You roll into Baghdad, every single big apartment building is blown up. Every single apartment building in Baghdad has been broken to the ground by artillery and airplanes bombing. You cannot meet someone in Iraq who has not lost a family member. Could you imagine what we had done in America if in 9/11 everybody in America lost a family member? What would we be doing? Would we be talking about war? No, we'd be in the streets with weapons. And so people talk about, oh, these people killing American soldiers in Iraq, they're terrorists. Not terrorists, they're wearing sandals. And they got an AK. And they got 14-year-old boys building bombs to kill these American soldiers because we've killed their family. So we're done in Baghdad. We killed enough people. I was ordered to kill innocent people. We killed innocent people. When they shot at us, we shot at everybody. We were done, you know. Every guy I served was against the war.
Now, one of the things that he mentioned was racism, all right? And we have to understand this system's plan with racism, all right? We have to understand the system's plan of racism because it's something that's being used to divide everybody. Okay? But now, I want you to see this, because we're going to check out a couple of things. Steve D. Now, everybody remember Gabby Douglas, right? She was the Olympic gymnast. Okay? I want you to see this. Now, this video was played right after she won. All right? Right after she won. Here we go.
American girls out there who tonight are saying to themselves, hey, I'd like to try that too. More from London in a moment.
His entire life has been leading to this moment. All the hard work, the dedication, just to answer the call of victory.
That's what they ran right after she won. You saw, as soon as the broadcast went off, that's what they did. Okay? But now, I want you to check this out, because this racism, especially towards blacks, is worldwide.
Yes, it is.
Okay? And there's got to be a reason why. Why is this worldwide? But I want you to see this. Here we go.
It started with the lure of the glitz, the glamour, the dream of being China's next pop star. But Lo Jing's instant fame had its consequences. She was born in Shanghai to a Chinese mother and an African-American father who she's never met. 1岁, 1 year old. So cute. Growing up with a single mom, 20-year-old Lo Jing says she had a normal life, good friends, and only rarely felt out of place. Sometimes people on the street would ask me, why do you speak Chinese so well? I'd say, because I'm Chinese. When Lo Jing stepped into the national spotlight on a Chinese reality show called Go Oriental Angel, she got attention not necessarily because of her talent, but because of how she looked. Hosts fondly called her Chocolate Girl and Black Pearl. The Chinese media fixated on her skin color. Angry netizens vented online, saying she never should have been born and telling her to get out of China, sparking a bitter debate about race. In many respects, China can be considered a very homogenous society. More than 90% of the population is Han Chinese, so people who look different stand out. At first, I cried a lot, she says. Then I got angry, and finally, I just started to ignore it. Lo Jing's background became national gossip. Show producers convinced her mom to appear on air, the most private details of their life becoming painfully public. Lo Jing didn't ask me about her dad until she was 16, she told the audience. I cried, and she never asked me again. But as the show went on, so did Lo Jing, listening to Beyonce, her favorite artist, hanging out with classmates, and going to school. I was so angry, says her drama teacher, but she said she wasn't letting these things get to her heart. Fans continued to vote for her. The judges praised her confidence. Lo Jing was eliminated before the finale, but not without a powerful parting message. I think I'm the same as all the girls here, except for my skin color. We share the same stage and the same dream. Emily Chang, CNN, Shanghai.
Interesting, right? But I showed you that to show you this, all right?
However, there is something that could settle this debate of where the Chinese come from once and for all. I'm meeting Professor Jin Li, one of China's leading geneticists. Recently, he led a project that set out to prove that the Chinese evolved independently from everyone else, from Homo erectus here in China.
Before the project started, I was hoping that I could identify or could be able to find the evidence that support independent origin of Chinese in China, because I'm a Chinese and came from China, and through the education process, I always believed that there's something special about Chinese.
So what did he say, through the what process?
Education.
Education process. Or the indoctrination process, all right? Because that's what schooling really is. It's about indoctrinating your children into the system, all right? So this is China's system, all right?
He singled out a male genetic marker which only appeared about 80,000 years ago in Africa. So any man who carries that marker must have recent African ancestors and can't be descended from the more ancient Asian Homo erectus. Jin took DNA from over 160 ethnic groups around East Asia. Over 12,000 samples. And so, what did you find?
We did not see any, even one single individual that could be considered as the descendant of the Homo erectus in China. Rather, everybody was a descendant of our ancestors from Africa.
It's damn right. I knew Bruce Lee was black. I knew it.
Right. But see, this is the type of information that we need to be pulling out and teaching our children, all right? So we can start raising their self-esteem, making them feel good about themselves. Because all of the images that they're getting through television and the media is always something negative about black people. Okay? Exactly. Exactly. Well, the Quran tells us.
It's in hidden colors 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
And they all know it. That's why they know it.
But see, the thing is, oh, go ahead, bro.
I just want to share and back up what you're saying in that respect. For those that don't know, in the United Nations, I'm a member of the Greater Philadelphia United Nations Association. Africans on this planet actually our seed exists in 137 nations. That's just to show you the broadness of their agenda, their scope of viewing us and seeing us as an opposing force. The reality is, we are the predominant factor of the entire planet Earth.
See, the thing is that they fear something coming from our people.
Exactly.
All right? So if you think about, you go back and you think about COINTELPRO, all right? And what they talk about in COINTELPRO, that's when they had infiltrated the groups in the 60s and 70s, right? They said that their goal, and this was in their documents, This was in the FBI documents. It said they were trying to prevent the rise of a black Messiah. Okay? And what did who were they watching? They were watching Malcolm, they were watching King, they were watching Elijah Muhammad, and they were watching Stokely Carmichael, right? What did they say about him? They said they were definitely afraid of Malcolm because he was so charismatic, okay? They said they weren't worried about King as long as he was following their agenda, okay? And this was in their documents. They said they weren't worried about Elijah Muhammad because he was too old, okay? And Stokely Carmichael, they just said he had potential, okay? So they fear something from our people. That's why they're destroying our children through the education process, all right? That's why they are using homosexuality as a genocide, okay? Because if you're turned away from your mate, you won't reproduce. And you see how many of these reality shows and stuff, they put those black homosexuals in the forefront, okay? And this big show they got now, Empire, okay? Our little babies are watching them. But all they're doing is indoctrinating them to accept homosexuality, okay? Because they want to get them at a young age think that this is okay, all right? But let's finish this piece.
The result couldn't have been any clearer. Now, how did that make you feel as a Chinese person?
After I saw the evidences that we generate in my laboratory, I think we should all be happy with that because, after all, modern humans from different part of the world are not so different from each other, and we are very close relatives.
That's great, thank you.
But now, because I want you to just really see how far this stuff goes, all right? And I want you to see this piece. Because you have to really get a real feel or understanding of how this is affecting our children, all right?
Doll is the black doll. And which one is the white doll? Which doll is the pretty doll? Which doll is the nice doll? Which doll is the bad doll? Which doll is the nice doll? And which doll is the bad doll? And why is that doll pretty?
Because she's white and he has 2 eyes.
Which doll is the ugly doll? Why is that doll ugly?
Because he's black.
Which doll looks most like you?
Me?
Yeah, which one looks like you?
And that one.
Okay.
That doll.
Can you show me the doll that you like best or that you like to play with?
This one. I like that one.
Okay.
This one.
That one?
This one. I like to play with this.
And can you show me the doll that is the nice doll? And why is that the nice doll?
He's white.
And can you show me the doll that looks bad? Okay. And can you and why does that look bad?
Because he's black.
And why do you think that's a nice doll?
Because she's white.
And can you give me the doll that looks like you?
Now, how sad was that? Give me the doll that looks like you. And you saw how bad she wanted to push that white doll, but she knew it wasn't a reflection of what she looked like. You know, so she very hesitantly pushed the black doll. All right? We don't teach our children this. So what's teaching our children these things? It's television. It's the magazines. All right? See, when they control your perception, they got you. And when they control your perception of yourself, they really got you.
But it also happens in reverse, because I have a daycare, and I have a little boy, his father is Tunisian, so he's very fierce. He looks like Michaela. And this whole time, everybody's been either like my color or darker. So he wants to be like them. So with kids, it's like, when you're dealing with small kids, because I'm dealing with age 5 and under, it's what they're around. It's kind of more like what you're around is what you want to be. And so now that she's come along, he does things like raise your hand if you're light skinned. They come up with this stuff, and little kids are very observant, and they come up with this stuff on their own from just sucking it in from their environment. Because I was like, I don't do that. Right. Because now she's come along, somebody that looks like him. Now, what you have to watch too is when they really get into the midst of that program. Okay. Because they're going to be bombarded. Well, yeah, when they start watching that television. After kindergarten, I don't have them anymore, so I don't know what their parents are going to do. But in the midst of the 10 hours that I have them, this is how he's being affected by everybody being looking black, and he does it. But now, when that child gets, because I did the same thing with my children at school. I used a computer program. Okay. All right, and I told them to design a character of who they want, the boys who they want to marry. I told the girls to make the prettiest person they could. Out of about 60 children, I only had 4 that picked the black image. Okay, so it's the indoctrination. It's what you're around. Right, what you're around. Like you said, environment. It's your environment. And our children live in a controlled environment. Okay, because they're trying to destroy them with the environment. Because that environment doesn't exist in other people's areas. Okay.
It's all conditioning, because at the beginning of time, if someone told us, put in front of us, a man or woman, the color of that screen, and said, "This is beauty. This is beautiful," then everyone it would be opposite. It's all conditioning. Right.
See, they define beauty for us.
Exactly.
Okay. But now, what I want you to see real quick, because this was dealing from black children's perspective. All right, but now watch. Wait a minute, I want you to hear these too, because they're interesting too.
Not sure. What do you think of that skin color?
Well, it looks kind of whitish, and that's all I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you? Why do you want that skin color?
Because it looks lighter than this kind, because this looks a lot like that one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I just don't like the way brown looks, because the way brown looks really nasty for some reason, but I don't know what reason. That's all.
So you think it looks nasty?
Well, not really, but sometimes.
Sometimes. And Brielle, they asked what color adults don't like. Do you remember what you said? This one? That's right, that's what you said. Why do you think adults don't like that color?
Dark.
Dark. And you think adults don't like dark?
Maybe some adults do, but maybe some of them don't.
Mm. And then which was the ugly child?
So show me the smart child. Okay, why is she the smart child?
Because she looks like me.
Okay. Show me the mean child. Okay, why is she the mean child?
Because she's way darker.
Okay. Show me the good child.
Now, notice that this girl, she's not picking the whitest one. She's picking the what? Tannism. Because on television, what do they say? Oh yeah, get the tan, right?
Yeah,
Get the
fair
tan
skin.
red, right?
Mhm.
Have the tan skin. Because it's about programming. And like you said, conditioning. Okay?
Why is she the good child?
Because I think she looks like me.
Okay. Show me the bad child. Why is she the bad child?
Because she's a lot darker.
Show me the ugly child.